opportunity to win it, but to lose in that fashion, what did you make of the performance from the team?
Well, obviously it hurts a lot, right? Number one, I got to congratulate Gorge on 850 games and, what a career and everything he's done. So it's a hell of an accomplishment. It's a long time, and he's does a hell of a job. So, for us, I think every day is a learning day. I think that there's a ton of really, really positives. That's probably the one team that came to Adelaide and beat us, in Adelaide, and we're trying to learn how to change and win in real time. And we had a point where we were up, right, by 18, I think, and there was a lot of real positives in that first half. We had way more minutes today, just playing a little bit smaller lineup and being kind of in a small ball lineup than we have been all year because of Nick being out. And I think it's still, you never want to take an L. But I think that the learning process with our group, we functioned pretty well at times, and then I think that their pressure ramped up. You give them credit. They're a big physical team. And then, the shots weren't just as clean. The set wasn't as clean. The shot clock was on us a little bit more. And they kind of wore us down to the point where, we just had to rush a little bit more. But I saw a bunch of positives on there. There's a bunch of things that, as a coach, you can correct and teach, and you want to move the group forward, and, that's what we'll do.
What does it do for your competitive juices when you hear them doing their sort of chant, their post-game win chant?
Well, that's still a new thing for me, sort of. The post-game song, in my NBA life, that's probably not a thing at all. But I totally get it. I understand it. We have ours, and we do our deal, and I know that they can hear us in the visitors' locker room when we do it. And, it's part of the celebration. I think it's a really hard league, and you do need to celebrate wins. And unfortunately, we're not celebrating tonight. And but we've had a hell of a first part of the year. I couldn't be more proud of our group. You guys hear me talk about how coachable and teachable. We were off a little bit in the second half, and we'll work to correct it.
What do you feel changed sort of the start of the third quarter? It felt like they went on a bit of a run. What was the difference?
Yeah, well, I think you know that they're going to come out and they're going to come after you. And, they knocked us out of rhythm a little bit, and things just weren't clean there for a while, right? I mean, you got to be able to get the ball up into the front court, and then you've got to execute your offense through physicality. That's everything in this league. I mean, handling full court pressure, then being able to execute. And if you get it across half court a little bit slower, and then you're not into the operating area a little bit more, then the shot clock tends to be on your back. And those were things that were, part of the factor. I think also, I was hoping that there would be minutes for me to play most of my starting lineup, and with Isaac Humphries just kind of being in foul trouble and things like that, we ended up playing small even more than I kind of planned going in.
So you went small almost out of circumstance, Isaac in foul trouble?
At first, yeah.
Not being here.
Yeah.
What did you like about it, and are there parts of it that you can see yourself sort of leaning into a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I like it definitely for spurts. We have a lot of versatility with the Troy Browns, Flynn Camerons. It pushes DJ and Isaac White and some of those guys into the floor, and I'd say Matt Kenyon also. So it just gives us a lot of versatility on the defensive end, and it should give us more offensive spacing. I think that it's more. We're so good in our two big lineup with Zylan and Ice and Nick, and I talk about my three bigs and how skilled they are, and I love the way they play. And we're very comfortable playing with those guys on the floor, and we're sort of trying to get more comfortable with this. And we've had to do it at times because of fouls at different times. This is definitely the longest stretch, and I think that's why some of the possessions looked a little raggy, where you would anticipate more ball handling and shooting would make it look cleaner, but until you do it really in game action, it's just hard to duplicate that sort of physicality and, time, score, and everything that's going on to do it cleanly.
Obviously, pressure price, as per it's a normal thing that happens, but it felt like there were a couple of opportunities this evening for Troy and Zylan to perhaps step up at the offensive end, just given the experience that they come with as well. Were is that something that you would like to see, or how do you get more out of those guys when, you know, the stars are being locked down?
Yeah, that's part of still. We're still probably in a little bit of a growth stage. I think we're pretty comfortable playing with Flynn. And I think Troy Brown, we're probably more comfortable with him than he is with us still. And I think that he's still sort of trying to pick and choose when he sort of puts his imprint on the game and when not. And, you know, his biggest supporter is Bryce Cotton. Bryce is always telling me, like, you got to go. You got to take the open shot. And I think those things will, will eventually work out. We're still sort of figuring out, the offensive pieces and how that works. And, today, like, there was just opportunities, it felt like, right there, but we were just a little bit out of sync in that second half. And you give them credit for their length and their athleticism and their pressure to try to change the pace of the game. And, I would love for us to set and be able to play downhill a little bit more, but it didn't happen.
A bit of a funny situation with Nick, obviously being here, but watching from the hotel to
Yeah.
obviously big game against the Hawks coming up. How important is it to have him back, and what are your early thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think anytime that you, he's a big part of what we do, even though his minutes fluctuate and things like that. He's just a talented player, number one, and he really fits our group, and our group really likes him, so it's a little different without him today. That'd be number one. Number two, we've been a good team all year. We've had a good year. I think anytime you're a little bit out of sync, you want to get the group back together, and you want to just focus on you and your fundamentals and how you've been a good team, and we'll try to do that offensively. And defensively, as we kind of teach and correct and try to get back to a base package and get people back into those lineups where maybe we're a little more comfortable. And then also, we will keep expanding and playing with those combinations, and when we go small or smaller, smallish, not sure which one it is.
There's a pretty loud crowd there tonight in Canberra. This game, there's been a lot of talk about an NBL expansion side potentially coming here. Did that atmosphere tell you that Canberra certainly deserves and would like to be one of those licensed teams?
Well, I mean, I just think it's a fantastic league. I'm behind whatever the league thinks is the right direction. From a competitive side, it would be great to have more teams. We came here for the Blitz. It was great. Weather was better this time, a little warmer. They choose to expand, and they think that financially is the best way for the league to go. We're 100% whatever the city is, to be honest with you. And if we choose to stay at 10, it's just such a great league. Whatever the powers that be decide, I hold the company line on that one. There's a competitive side of me that would like to see more teams because that would mean more games.
What do you make of Bryce Cotton playing 45 minutes?
Did he? No kidding.
Just 45 minutes.
Wow.
He moved by ball most of that game. What do you make of that sort of athletic feat?
It was a hard one out there for me today. We've tried to pick and choose some different things, and that's one of the things with having multiple ball handlers out there. Bryce has enjoyed that point guard position, and he also enjoys the competition and wanting to compete. And, looking back on it now, because we lost, it's like I probably should have figured it out a little bit more along the way. But he's an amazing athlete. He's in amazing shape. He's our, leader. He goes and we follow, and that's kind of what we tried to do there, particularly when things felt a little bit out of sync in the second half. I just doubled down with him. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Any questions from online? Let's check online. Any questions from online? No, we're all good.
Okay, guys. Thanks.